In this lesson, we're going to learn how to revise our stories. So that means make our stories sound better. So today in class, we started with our 3-part story, and we began making that into a 3-paragraph story. So I have my story here about how my car broke down, and I'm going to go through and see if I can revise it to make it sound better. So I'm going to start at the beginning. One Sunday evening, I was driving my old car down the road, and suddenly my tire popped. So I'm going to stop and think about how could I describe this trip a little bit better. And I'm going to use some adjectives like we learned in our lesson last week. So words that describe. So one Sunday evening, I'm going to tell you that it was one cold Sunday evening. And I put this little mark in here so that you know I want to add that word cold in there because I want to tell you a little bit more about that Sunday evening. So one cold Sunday evening, I was driving my old car down the road. And I want to say more about this old car. So I'm going to say my old black car down the road. And again, I put my little triangle in here and I add that word black in there. So my old black car down the road, and suddenly my tire popped. I was very upset and decided I better call someone for help. As I took out my phone, I saw that my cell had no service. So I want to be a little bit more descriptive here. I want to add in some adjectives. So I'm going to say, as I took out my iPhone 11. So instead of phone, I want to tell you a little bit more about that. It's an iPhone 11. So I took out my iPhone 11, and I want to add an adjective in here too because I want to tell you more about that iPhone. So I'm going to say I took out my black. I'm going to tell you what color it is. My black iPhone 11. I saw that my cell had no service. It was cold. So instead of cold, I think I want to use a better describing word here. I think I want to say that it was frigid. So I'll just cross out cold and I'll put frigid. And even if I'm not totally sure how to spell it, I'm just going to do my best, okay? It was frigid. Then snow started to fall on my head. Again, I want to add another adjective in here. What kind of snow was it? Then sparkly snow. Sparkly snow started to fall on my head. I also thought I heard a bear in the woods. I want to add another adjective in here. What kind of bear was it? Heard a giant, grizzly bear in the woods. So I'm telling you more by describing what kind of bear is. A giant grizzly bear in the woods. Then I remembered that I had a spare tire on the back of my car. I got it out, changed my tire, and I was back on my way home. I felt safe at last. So I want to be a little more descriptive here. So then I remembered that I had a spare tire. So I'm going to say a new spare tire because I just replaced it last week. So I'm going to say a new spare tire on the back of my car. I got it out, changed I'm going to add an adjective in here. The old tire, the one that was flat. I could also say flat. So I might say, I don't want to say old. I'm going to erase that and I'm going to say flat. The flat tire, because I want you to know what kind of tire it is. The flat tire, and was back on my way home. I felt safe at last. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. I felt safe and warm at last. So that's how I can revise by adding more details to my story. So now I want you to take your story that you wrote during class today. Actually, it was yesterday. Take your story that you wrote from class yesterday and add in some more details. Use some adjectives and be descriptive.